morning, everybody. Today is Terrific Tuesday, and what do I keep telling y'all? God keeps showing up. How does He show up? Well, He showed up in the angelic voices of two beautiful young ladies, and one of them actually isn't a young lady anymore at all because Miss Kaitlyn is getting old. She's married and all that stuff. You know, You know how when you get old and frumpy and you're like, no, she's not. Kaitlyn, how long have you been coming to visit us? 23. And who is your guest today?
So we have Kaden Lee. She is one of our students with Miss Connie.
With Miss Connie. And Miss Connie was going to be here today, and we want to ask everybody to please say a prayer for Rock because he had another seizure. Is that right?
Yes, unfortunately so.
And so that's why she's not here today. And so you are not Miss Connie on the piano, but you have learned to be Miss Connie on the piano.
I'm never going to be as good as Miss Connie. Like, I will always say I will never be Miss Connie, but I learned during COVID, and I got bored.
Yeah, awesome. Now, tell me a little bit about you. You're 11 years old.
Yes, ma'am. I was born in Blue Ridge, Georgia. I take voice lessons by Miss Connie and Miss Kaitlyn. Miss Kaitlyn helps, and they've both helped me get very far and helped with my voice a lot.
Yeah. Now, I said when you stepped up, the first song you did, you reminded me so much of Emmy Russell, who is one of the finalists on American Idol, because I thought she was too quiet, she was too shy, she was too intimidated. I thought that girl is not going to go anywhere if she doesn't raise her voice. Well, she did. Now she's in the finalist. So, do you feel sometimes a little bit intimidated? Have you ever done live television before?
No, ma'am.
So, you have a right to be intimidated. Yeah. You know, there's only a few people watching, a few thousands of people watching. But how cool is that? That American Idol, or through what we do, when you step up in front of that camera, and Emmy said this last night, I think it brings you to a new level. And she said every week she felt more secure. And like, hey, this is me coming to life. So maybe today will be the day that you step up and go, I can do anything I want to. Now, what kind of music do you like?
I sing a lot of Christian, and then sometimes I like pop sometimes, but I mostly stick to kind of Christian or like kind of country songs.
Well, and you're doing one of my favorite, Elvis Presley, I'm sorry, y'all. If you don't like Elvis, no, something's wrong with you. There's an Elvis song for every occasion. Now, why did you choose the one you chose to sing today?
Not only did it fit my voice tone, but I find it a really pretty song.
Yeah.
And I think Miss Connie and Miss Kaitlyn did a very good job picking that song out for me. It was either that song or If I Can Dream, but we found Can't Have Fallen in Love with You to be more right for the occasion.
I will just say this, nobody does If I Can Dream like Elvis did it. Oh my gosh, I can remember the first time I saw him perform that, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. Now, who's your favorite artist in today's world? I hope you don't say that woman, but you might.
A lot.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I do really like Brandon Lake. He's part of the Elevation Worship, and I've went to one of his concerts before, and I'm going to 2 more. So I really do enjoy him. We got like really close seats, so we have like pictures with him and all of this. And I love Brandon Lake. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now, do your parents tell you what kind of music they want you to be involved in? Are they, I don't want to use the word screening your music, but kind of, this isn't appropriate for an 11-year-old? Because there are some songs that really aren't appropriate for an 11-year-old.
Of course, some songs, with all like the not good words and stuff like that, that of course they don't let me listen to.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're not like too strict about it, but like, they don't want me to listen to like songs that 11-year-olds shouldn't be listening.
Yeah. Well, anybody who grew up in the 60s, and most of us grew up in the 60s, we had the greatest music ever. We had Motown, we had the Beach Boys, we had the Beatles. We had good music from everywhere. The whole world was full of good music. It's not that way anymore. So y'all have to really pick and choose what you're going to sing. Being Christian women, you have to choose different music. You can't go to the radio, and I've been sitting in traffic, and hear on somebody's radio this awful stuff coming out of the radio. And I'm like, how do they do that? So the area y'all are growing up in is so much harder than where we came up. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, talk a little bit about you. When you started playing piano, did you finally have that natural ability, or you work at it every day?
I still work at it. I do play by ear, which helps so much. I will tell you a secret. I can't really read the notes, so that's why I stuck with the chords.
Well, my roommate way back 100 years ago in Atlanta was from a Pentecostal church, and she could play anything and everything. And we'd get off, we had 2 jobs, we were always moonlighting, making 2 jobs to pay our rent. And we'd come in at 2 o'clock in the morning after our second shift job, and I'd say, I bet you can't play so-and-so. She could sit down on that piano and play anything I named. And I used to say, Glenda, is there anything you can't play? No. You know.
That sounds like Miss Connie.
And she was better than most people I know. I've had guests on here who said, oh, that's a beautiful piano. I play the piano. And I said, well, why don't you play something? And they said, well, I don't have my music with me. And I'm like, what? Because my roommate only played by ear. And to me, I kind of think that's the way to go, because it works. If you hear it, you can do it.
I will sit down at a piano. She can attest to this. And I will just randomly just start typing out something. And it's funny. I apologize for it. I'm just like, look, it's what's in my head right now.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is so cool. Well, we're going to take a break in just a minute, and we're going to set y'all up at the piano. And I've asked you to do the Elvis song first, purely because I just think Elvis deserves it. You know, he was #1 forever. He will always be the king. So yeah, we're going to do a little music with them. But I want to remind y'all about the plant sale that is going to be happening in Ball Ground on Saturday morning beginning at 9 o'clock. And we have so many gift baskets, so many goodies, so many things to do. We're going to do raffle drawings. We're going to have plants of all kinds that you can buy for great prices. And if you remember, it's the day before Mother's Day. And if you're lucky enough that your mom is still here, bring her to the plant sale, hang out with her in the beautiful botanical gardens, and spend time just getting to know Ball Ground, because after all, it is the best place in the world to live. And I can promise you, I know a little bit about this walking community. It is an amazing place just to get to know our restaurants, our ice cream shop, and the many, many places that say welcome to Ball Ground. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we get back, the girls are going to be sitting over at the piano, because I think it's best to get their music done so they don't have to sit here and be nervous wrecks for another hour. So here we go.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
You know, how you feel on the inside is just as important to me as how you feel on the outside.
Oh, Daddy. I'm grown up, is there in every way, care and take care of you. You're my grown up and I know you're there. You're a grown up and you know I care. 'Cause it's you and me and me and you. So when you are okay or not okay, I'll take care of you.
Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Trapped gems and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, your feet propped up, and what the heck?
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Holy, holy is He. Sing a new song to Him who sits on heaven's mercy seat. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you. Clothed in rainbows of living color, flashes of lightning, rolls of thunder. Jesus, your name is power, breath and living water, such a marvelous mystery. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all creation I sing praise to the King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you. Filled with wonder, awestruck wonder, at the mention of your name. Jesus, your name is power, breath and living water, such a marvelous mystery. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all creation I sing praise to the King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you.
There's a long line of mourners coming down our street. Their fancy cars are such a sight to see. They're all of your rich friends that knew you in the city. And now they finally brought you back to me. The papers told of how you lost your life, of the party and the fatal crash that night. The race on the highway, the curve nobody's seen. Now you're riding in that long black limousine. When you left home, you told me, you said that someday you'd be returning with a fancy car for the whole town to see. Well, everybody's watching now, and I guess you finally got your dream. You're riding them long black limousines. Through tears I watch as you ride by, with a chauffeur at the wheel, dressed up so fine. I'll never love another. My heart and all my dreams are with you in that long black limousine. I'll never love another. My heart and all my dreams ride with you in that long black limousine.
It's been a long day and I'm trying to figure it out. The way those words left your mouth, I feel broken, shattered and blue, and it's all because of you. I'm trying to figure it out. If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? It's been a long time since I felt the way that I do now. Like I need you, but I don't know how. It's been a while since I smiled, and I meant it from my heart. But the idea of leaving this behind, it tears me apart. If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? Kiss me now and remind me why I ever wanted to make you mine. And even though it hurts in this moment, I have always known it. You're the other half of my broken heart. If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? If this is love, why does it break me down? Why do you break me down? Even though it hurts in this moment, I have always known it. You're the other half of my broken heart.
This is the week that everybody celebrates mothers, and I'm joined now by Rose Berger, who knows a little bit about something, being a mom who lost a child. How old was your daughter when she passed?
Alicia was 21, Lori was 24.
21 and 24. When you think about losing, I lost one daughter, and I have 3 friends who lost their only child. You've lost so much, but you gained this beautiful young lady, Kaitlyn, that you have raised. And has she helped you get through some impossible moments?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And with seeing her grow and helping her get through, she never knew her mom, right?
Right.
She doesn't. Do you have memories at all?
I was almost 2 years old, so I don't
Right,
have any.
right. That is so hard, but I was looking yesterday at my friends who've lost children, and there's this huge long list, and we all get through it differently. We all face it differently, but you have been thrown another curve and another curve and another curve. Every time I turn around, you've battled cancer. How's that going today?
I think it's going good.
Okay.
Good. The doctors might not think so, but that's
Right.
okay.
That's okay.
She's
That's
stuck
okay.
God
here,
is
that's
the-
what matters.
That's right. God is in control. And
That's
it's
it.
like this, God keeps showing up.
Right.
God keeps showing up. When we think that he's not going to be here, all of a sudden he is, you know. And then when you lost your husband,
Yes. On Mother's Day.
the rock of your life, the rock of your life on Mother's Day.
Yes.
We buried my grandfather on Mother's Day. Mother's Day is not the happiest day of the year for a lot of people. And folks don't understand that because, you know, if you're standing in a grocery store line with somebody who's buying flowers for their mother and you glance over and you're going, oh, I wish I had my mother to do that for. I think the message we need to share today is enjoy every moment with your mom. If your mom is still here, if you can pick up the phone and call her, if you can send her flowers, if you can take her out to eat, whatever, honor her today because she may not be here tomorrow.
Right.
She may not be here tomorrow. Now, losing 2 children, how do you handle this? How do you deal with this?
God just takes me through it.
Absolutely. He keeps showing
it.
up.
Always.
He keeps showing up. Yeah.
He just amazes me.
Yeah. Well,
That's what
I
he
read
can do.
everything you post and I will go, how does she do this? How does she handle this? And
It's
some
just
of
God.
God. That is it. God. It is totally God. Some of us are stronger than others, and I've had so many people come up to me and say, because of something you said on the show, I made it through something horrible. And then I watched my daughter Dawn, who watched me spiral out of control, and she said, Mama, I saw you stand at my sister's casket. I saw you bury your firstborn child, but I never saw you broken until he did what he did. And I said, oh my gosh, that is true. I allowed someone else to break me. And I think that's something we need to learn. I gave in and felt that I was worthless, felt that I was of no value because I was told that. And that's something, you'll learn this as a woman. There'll be a man one day who looks at you and says, you're not worthy of me. You're not this, you're not that. Don't believe those lies. Don't believe those lies. And women need to stand up for each other. We need to honor each other. We need to support each other. And there are some women who just crack me up. They look so together and they're so smart and so with it. And when you close the door and then they tell you the truth, we're all dealing with something. We're all dealing with something, but we can get each other through it, you know. And as an 11-year-old, you will witness things in your lifetime that we will go, oh, how do you get through that? Because your world is a little differently than ours is. We had a little more support. We had more family because our families are dying off. When I realized I'm the oldest in the family, I'm going, oh no, there's no grandmother to call when I need support. There's no mother to call when I need support. My sister died of cancer after 1 chemo treatment. I always called my sister and she was my support team. Where do we go? We have to go to the community and to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really do. Now, do people from church help you? Do people pray for you? Is there a prayer network out there since you've had cancer?
Well, just different churches, I guess maybe not so much churches, just the individuals in the churches.
So
And,
we want to ask everybody who's watching today, pray.
Yes.
Just pray that all of us get through what we're facing. You know, this beautiful young lady is facing a world of wisdom. She can learn from so many people. You can teach the next generation. Kaitlyn taught you. Now it's your responsibility to teach the next one. And that's what we do. We give back and we give back and we keep giving back.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to do that. And then when we look at our life when it ends, you know what's going to be left of you and I when we're gone, because we're the old ladies? The memories that people have of us.
Right.
So leave those good memories. Yeah, leave those good memories. Now,
I believe
Kaitlyn-
God lets us go through things so we can help others
Absolutely.
to go through the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And they can
Oh, yeah.
look and they say, well, you know, if she can do this, then I can too.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. And that's what I've had so many women say, I can't believe, and one lady looked at me and said, where is the Cherie Martin I used to know? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, the Cherie Martin I knew would never have put up with this. And I said, but the Cherie Martin you knew had not buried her child, had not buried her mother, had not buried her husband. The Cherie Martin you knew had strength, and I lost some of that strength as I went through the trials and tribulations. But we can get it back.
Exactly.
You know, we can get it back and we can share with others. Now, Kaitlyn, because you didn't remember your mom, are there times that Rose will say, oh my gosh, that's like your mother?
Yes, so
Yes.
all the time, and whenever my father was still alive, because they did adopt me. So
Right.
this is my mama.
Right?
She's the only mother I've known.
Right.
But if I dye my hair blonde, there's like,
Yeah.
and the attitude. I hate to say that, but the temper. I got the temper.
That's so funny. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we want everybody out there to pray for you and your health, and to pray that there'll be a day that we'll be gone. You know, we're that generation that we won't be here for many more years, and we have to face that. And we have to prepare these young kids to make it without us. And the only way I know to do it is have God keep showing up.
Yes.
Yeah, He's got to show up. He's got to show up. Well, we're going to take another music break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about moms getting by without their children. And we're going to share probably my favorite heart of the home. This is Angela and I, and it is her. She was laughing, she was happy, she was hopeful, life was really, really good. And we did a recipe that reminded me, if you're looking for a man, find one with a 401k, a state retirement, and a DOT pension. Do not settle for somebody who is not an overachiever. So here we go.
There's a sweet and precious mother sitting in an old rocking chair. She is looking out that open window, and on her lips this servant's prayer. Oh dear God, I'm all alone. Won't you send my children home? Won't you touch their hearts and make them understand? I know they're busy as can be with their homes and family, but won't you ask the children, Lord, to visit me? It's a sad, heartbreaking, lonely picture of a mother just waiting to die, all alone without her children. Surely God will hear her prayer. Oh dear God, I'm all alone. Won't you send my children home? Won't you touch their hearts and make them understand? I know they're busy as can be with their homes and family, but won't you ask the children, Lord, to visit me? I know they're busy as can be with their homes and family, won't you ask the children more to visit me?
Hi, I'm Cherie Martin. Tonight on Heart of the Home, I promised you a rich, rich recipe, and wow, is it rich. I've been eating this cake for about 30-something years. You were 2 years old.
No, because I'm only 29.
Uh-oh. Well, okay. My daughter Angela was only 2 the first time I had this cake. Gosh, does that make me or you old?
Neither one.
Okay, neither one. It is a rich recipe. This was submitted by Doreen Lee. She's from Kankakee, Illinois. And she got the recipe from, I think, a junior league cookbook there many, many years ago. Rich, rich, rich chocolate cinnamon cake. Rich and good. Now, I made my first one last week, and Angela's going to go over the ingredients for you.
There are 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of butter, a 1/4 cup baking cocoa, 1 cup water, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
Now, if y'all have been tuning in to Heart of the Home, we all know I'm not much at measuring. Now, we're going to add, we are actually measuring, aren't we? We measured today.
We don't do that.
Measure. Well, we're measuring today because this cake is pretty precise, and we need to measure this. Okay, Angela, we have combined 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar. We sifted that, and now we're melting our cup of butter with our cocoa and our water. We're going to let that melt good, and then we're going to pour it over the dry ingredients, and then we're going to add our buttermilk and our cinnamon and our vanilla and our eggs.
And our soda.
Tiny bit of soda, tiny bit of salt. It's going to be ready to bake. This is a simple recipe using plain flour.
And the chocolate's already smelling so good.
Oh man, this chocolate smells great. This is what makes this cake rich. Butter and chocolate, kind of like a man with a 401k and a state retirement. Now,
and
that's
an out-of-town hobby.
Oh my gosh, that's rich. That's rich. Now this is what, a 10 by 15 pan? Sure. It's a little bit larger than normal, and that's the size pan that this recipe requires. It's going to be in the oven for 30 minutes or until a toothpick put in comes out dry. Do not overbake it. My first one, I did overbake it, so watch it closely. Now this rich, rich recipe for our icing is, Angela, the amount of butter is 1 cup of butter, 1 bag of 10x sugar,
1/4 cup of cocoa,
1/4 cup of cocoa,
6 tablespoons of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla.
That's it.
Boil it in a saucepan.
That is it, guys, and it is so simple, and you pour it over the cake hot. Man, I think this deserves the rich and powerful. Ooh, man, it's good. These walnuts came from Harris Farm, and they're big chunks of walnuts. You can use pecans, you can use walnuts. I just happen to have a ton of walnuts we picked up out on the ground and shelled. Oh, wow.
Yummy.
Wow, yummy. Just a hint of cinnamon and a whole lot of rich chocolate. Now, what do you think of that?
I think that looks yummy enough to eat.
I think that looks yummy. I think Doreen had a good idea. This was a great recipe, guys. Angela, I promised you this was going to be rich and hot.
Oh, Tori!
Hey. Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Home from college.
I smelled this all the way in Atlanta, so I had to come up.
Okay, good idea. Tori, there you go, honey. The 3rd generation gets the cake. 3 generations, a great recipe. Bye-bye. It's great to have you home, sweetheart.
Oh, I got to talk to Tori yesterday, and losing a daughter was really, really hard. And losing a granddaughter who looks just like her mother to the state of Alaska was kind of hard, too. I can still see her, but it has to be on FaceTime because I don't like flying that far anymore. But you know, when we look at what we've survived, we can be teachers. Yes. We can be teachers to other moms who have recently lost a child. Or I got a message from a lady the other day, and she lost her only son 2 years ago. And she said, I don't know how to do Mother's Day. And she said, tell me it gets better. And I said, I can't lie and tell you it gets better, because I can tell you it gets doable, but it's not, you know, I won't wake up Mother's Day happy. I won't wake up Mother's Day joyful, even though I have Xana and I have Dawn and I have Nick and I have David and I have Ansley and I have Tori. I still, you know, Angela was the child who bought me 2 Mother's Day cards, because she would buy one and she'd say, oh, Mom, this card's perfect. And then the next day she would come in with another one.
Right.
And she'd say, well, I like this one better. And I'd already bought the other one. So here's 2 cards, you know. So your children will get you through whatever you face. Now, at 11 years old, have you got any idea of what the world is going to be like for you as you grow? Are there things in today's world that worry you?
Yes.
Tell me what they are.
I have a lot of fears that older people or just anybody that could lose their life like soon. And then when I do grow up, they just like,
they won't be there.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest fear.
I was 40, and this is terrible to admit this. I was 40 years old when my grandmother died. I couldn't face life without her, because she was my go-to everything, you know? And it was like, call Granny about the beans, call Granny about how you make buttermilk, call Granny about, now how did you do that cherry cobbler? When you can't call them anymore, that is the weirdest feeling. And we will all, you know, I survived. I buried my mom. 6 weeks later, I buried my husband. Then I buried a daughter, then a son, and I just kept going down the line. And I'm like, okay, when does it get to a point? But then at 11 years old, you will grow up in a world where, you know, we played outside. Are you an outside kid? Do you like to be outside?
Yes.
Yeah. We always felt like, okay, y'all, go outside and play. It was safe. Today's world isn't even safe for that. So you can't tell your kids, I'm going to drop you off at the park, because you don't know who's going to be lurking at the park. You know, it's a different world. So I don't know how you advise this next generation. You know, how do you teach them? How do you warn them? And there will be warning signals. You know, how you always say, if it makes you feel good, then that's great. But if it makes you feel good in a weird way, like somebody's inappropriate, you have to watch and pay attention, because we never know who's going to be lurking in that corner to attack this next generation.
Right.
It's scary. It's very scary. Now, do you have siblings?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
I have 2 siblings. One's a girl and one's a boy. My sister's name is Kaitlyn. She is 8 years old. And my brother's name is Boone, and he is 5 years old.
Is he rotten?
Yes. He has long blonde hair.
Oh, how cool.
And he is just wild as can be. He plays t-ball, and I think he's playing football. We're not sure, but he is very wild and crazy.
5 years old?
Yes.
Wow. Does he mind you when you tell him to do things?
No. He says, you're not my mama.
Oh, that sounds so like me and my brother. That is crazy. I was 5 years older than him. And it would always be, I'm telling on you. And he said, well, then I'll tell on you. You were on the phone longer than you were supposed to be. It was like they'll rat each other out. You know, I'm like, is that what brothers are fit for?
Yes, everything she just said is just, wow. It doesn't help. Mine's taller than me.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to look up at him.
There you go. You know, when we look at our lives and the children we've raised, you do the best you can, don't you?
Yes.
You do the best you can. You don't
With
do
what
it all
you've got.
perfectly.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember you were doing, don't you do taxes for people? Yeah, are you still working?
I still do that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes, I still do that at home.
Yeah. And then you sit there and you think, if I didn't have this to do, then I would have more time to think, and I think that's dangerous. I think we have to stay busy.
I think I've just really kind of slowed down the last couple of years and had more time to think, and I guess more time to grieve.
Yeah.
Because things did slow down.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to enjoy the time, the quiet. It's never been quiet.
Wow.
But I'm learning to enjoy it. I'm doing a big garden and just relaxing, and just it makes a difference when you think about how short life really is, and you just want to take and just enjoy everything, just the little things that you don't even think about. There was a little bird the other day that I was sitting in my swing outside, and I was watching it go into the window and make its nest and fly back out, and that was just the most peaceful thing. And you know, when you're going wide open, you don't see things like that. You miss so much.
Yeah.
Just the little things are really important.
That's funny that you said that. I got out of the car the other day, And I was meeting a guy about cutting down a tree that had fallen, and so we were standing there talking, and I heard this little bird just tweet, 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 and I said, listen. And we just both stopped just to listen to that little bird, and it was just out of all the birds in the sky, that little bird was just almost like he was communicating with us as we were standing at the tree, and I thought, now that's just weird, you know, and it's God. It's God keeps showing up, and he'll show up in a sunrise or a sunset or, you know, whatever. Has there ever been any time that you thought Satan was attacking your family?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, that is one thing that I learned, because I used to think Satan was the boogeyman and he was hid behind the dark and he was this, and no. Satan is very real.
Yes.
And he comes in all sizes, shapes, and forms. And you have to say, Satan, be out of here today, get away from me today. You have to fight him daily.
Right. And I mean, he knows what, you know, different people, different things. He knows exactly what buttons that he can push.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so you have to, you know, you can't just be on guard for one thing. It's just when that doesn't work, you just go somewhere else.
Yeah. So very, very true. It is so strange to me that I look at life differently. It's not like, what can God do for me? What will Satan do to destroy something? And I look, and it scares me, because I'm like, here he comes again. He's riding through here again. You know, it's something else. It's something all the time. And you just have to put your strength in God.
Yes.
That's the only way. I cannot imagine. I have a couple of friends who aren't sure about God, and they just said, well, how do you know? And I said, oh my gosh, I don't know how I could never have made it.
Right.
When your daughter died, did you isolate yourself?
Not on purpose.
Okay.
People, they would come around and they didn't know what to do. So like when we started to go to the grocery store or something, some of my real close friends didn't know what to say, so they would go to the other side.
Yes.
And it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, I've lost the friends too.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, they didn't know what to say, and when that happens, I don't know what to say. So I understand that.
It's funny that you say that, because I did exactly the opposite. I went into my bedroom, I shut the door, I stayed to myself. I was just going to die. I'm just going to die right here. And then I walked out that door, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I said, okay, I got 4 jobs. I worked 2 jobs in North Carolina, 2 in Georgia, and I did it on a daily basis. And this morning I was talking to one of the people I worked for then, and he said, you blow my mind. He said, I don't know how you've done this. I don't know how you survived this. And I said, it's because I stayed busy. And I would do the job in Murphy, North Carolina, then I would go to Culberson and do a job, and then I would come to Blue Ridge and do a job, and then I'd go to Jasper and do a job. I had my day planned with 4 jobs, and they're like, how did you survive all you went through? I kept my mind busy, because my mind was my meanest enemy. My mind would say, Satan doesn't want you to be here, Satan wants you to do this, Satan wants you to do that. And I had to fight Satan every single day, but I wanted to work away from here so people wouldn't have to avoid me and wouldn't have to say, we're so sorry about your daughter, because death is death, but suicide is that death that nobody wants to talk about, and you know this more than we both know this. Suicide is that death suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary situation. And if my daughter had the choice on my birthday to take her life, she would not have done it. She was not at herself. She was prescribed a drug that said may cause thoughts of suicide. Well, bingo. You know, it did.
My husband was too.
Yes. And so we look at our lives today, which are very, very different, because may cause suicidal thoughts. Then why do you prescribe that crap?
Exactly.
And they do. Every single day a doctor's going to write a prescription for that. And when I forced the GBI to do an autopsy on my daughter, and they found the only 2 things in her body was alcohol, because she'd been drinking beer, and that pill. Nothing else in her body. She was a size 2, a little bitty bag of bones, because a man had told her, you're fat and you need to lose weight. If you want to be with me, you better lose weight. And she got down to a size 2. Now, a size 2 is a bag of bones.
Yes.
And she was a little bag of bones. But it's because a man told her she was fat, and a man told her, you're not worthy. And that's the thing I hope every woman who watches this today will understand. You are beautiful inside, you are beautiful outside, and you are God's creation. And He created all of us the way that He wanted us to be.
Yes.
You know, Would I want to be a bleach blonde? No. Would I like to have kept my black hair? Yes. But God created me with this gray silver stuff. You know, we are God's creation.
Yes.
And when you put down God's creation, it's Satan in you. It's Satan in you. You don't have the right to do that to anybody. And you don't have the right to make people feel useless. And, you know, I mean, I can remember her telling me, yeah, he keeps saying I'm still fat. And I'm like, you're a size 2. You're a size 2. You're a bag of bones. Her teeth were falling out because she had no nutrients, no calcium, nothing, because she would eat like 2 ounces a day and 2 crackers because she didn't want to get fat. She didn't want to stay fat. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was beautiful. She was beautiful inside and out. And a man told her she was not worthy.
Right.
It's so scary.
Just one little thing can take your hope away. And when you lose that hope, it don't take long to lose that hope.
That's right.
You know, maybe 3 seconds.
That's
and
right.
And that's all it takes.
That's right.
Just to lose the hope.
That's right. Kaitlyn, where do you find your strength?
God.
God.
I've the last few months have been really, really hard, and at first I was questioning everything because everything was going wrong. Then I finally stopped and I realized that I need to start relying on God more, and I found beauty in things that I've never found beauty in before. So,
absolutely. And that's what we all, you know, it's just so crazy. Y'all were asking about cooking because I love to cook and share. I mean, like I don't just cook to eat, I cook to share. And if I'm going to do something, I do it in this pot, this pot, this pot, and then I take it to neighbors. I love doing that because it's my way of giving back. I don't know any other way to give back. It's the only talent I have. My daughter was a great florist. She, could do things I could never do, but I can cook. And so you find a way to share your love. You do it through your music.
Yes.
You do it through your promises of you still have hope in you even though you're battling cancer.
Yes.
How amazing is that?
Well, God's amazing. So
Yeah.
I believe God healed me, and He made my body. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be here as long as He wants me to be
That's
here.
right. That's right. And we are here. The day on Mother's Day that I decided I was no longer worthy of being here, and then this angel came, and I was like, "Don't do this to me. I'm ready to go. Don't do this to me." And then Xana came along, and Xana was born, and I have this beautiful baby to deal with, and I'm like, God knew that there was going to be this child in my life, and God knew that I was going to be able to be there for her. And I was like, God, how did you know? He knows everything.
Yes, and people still need you.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you think, well,
Worthless.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But then people need you, and I like to be needed, not used, but needed.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah, I could write a book on that. Yeah.
But I mean, it helps me to help other people. It really does. It helps me.
Yeah. And through your message of faith as you battled cancer, you didn't give up. My sister and I had a conversation on Thursday night. She died on Saturday night, and on Thursday night she took her first chemo treatment. And my sister said, I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can do this. But she said, I'm doing a trial drug. And she said, if it will help somebody else. She said, that's why I signed up for this. Well, it caused her to have a massive stroke and she died. But she did it as a helper. My sister was a helper. She was just that type personality. And they told her, they said, the risk is high, but it may help somebody else. And that's why we're here, help somebody else. Kaitlyn has helped you. You'll help somebody else.
Well, see, the doctors told me in October that I needed to go on hospice, that I had stage 4 colon cancer, and that there was nothing they could do. But of course, they still wanted me to have treatments, and But anyway, I chose not to, and I just chose to trust the Lord, and no hospice. I may end up on hospice one day, but
yeah. Yeah, but look at the 7 months you've had.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I can tell you, my husband was diagnosed in October, which is so weird. He was diagnosed in October, and they said, Mr. Martin, you have colon cancer, you have a traveling cancer, and we're going to try to cut its trip short. His went all through his body rapidly. It went everywhere. His brain was, his brain was affected, his spine was affected, everything was affected. And he made it 11 months and 3 weeks. They were a horrific 11 months and 3 weeks because he was on chemo, he was on radiation, he was sick, he couldn't eat. The last meal I prepared for him was on Saturday before he died the next Friday, and he said, I think I could eat a homemade hamburger. And I said, well, sugar, let me make you one. And I made a homemade hamburger and homemade French fries. He ate 2 bites. And I knew then, because my husband loved hamburgers and cheeseburgers. That man, he loved them. He probably wanted one in his pocket to take to heaven. But when that was all said and done, and I looked at that 11 months and 3 weeks, he was so sick. He went through so much. We might have been better off to have taken the route you've taken and trusted God.
Yeah.
But we trusted the doctors. We went to 4 different major hospitals. We went to every specialist you could find from Chicago to Manhattan, because my husband kept saying, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you. I want to be here for you. And I said, yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. What a lie. I was not okay. I was lying through my teeth because I was looking at him saying, I'm not going to make him feel bad. I said, oh, I'll be fine. That's not true. You won't be fine without turning to him. And if you can turn to God, you'll make it through anything.
Exactly.
You know why? He keeps showing up. He keeps showing up. This book. Y'all have got to get this book. Mike Smith sells these. He's in Ball Ground, and they really are amazing. When we look at the stories that we can tell, the messages we can share, and how we can give back to others. And today you gave me my Mother's Day gift because you sang my Elvis song. So see, you didn't have to gift wrap it or anything. And you gave people hope today. So you've given a Mother's Day gift that didn't cost anything. And you gave your mom a song without having to wrap it or pay for it. So see, God is good and he keeps showing up.
Yes.
We are all very, very blessed. We have made it through some stuff that, yeah.
Now, I would have never thought I could have made it through any of that.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
And by myself, I could not have.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
With God, you can do anything.
Everything is possible.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And our saying today should be, not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. Yeah. You're not going to attack. You're not going to take. You're not going to destroy. Yeah. And
Right.
that's what we all have to stand in faith together. So, thank you all for being here today. The time has flown by. I hope that you will check out Learning Something to Get You Through the Moment you think you're not going to make it. Learn to play a piano, learn to sing a song, learn to cook and share with people, learn to counsel people with the truth of God, because you do that. Yeah, and that's what it's about. So give back, and I hope every single body out there who is facing a hard Mother's Day gets through it. And you say, Jesus, I made it one more day. We'll see you again soon on ETC. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye, y'all.